And good evening. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we welcome in tonight as we're preparing for what's coming tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, rather severe weather to the area. Joining us now is one of the good guys that tracks weather as well, Storm and Norman. Norman, how are you tonight?
No, I'm doing great, Scotty Ray. You doing okay?
I'm not doing too bad at all. I am worried as we sit back and you and I look at radars as to what is right around the corner for us tomorrow. From your gut, severity, I know that the National Weather Service has this at a 4 out of 5. What does Norman think?
Well, that's the thing that catches my eye. We discussed this earlier. Is that you have a 45% chance of seeing 70-mile-per-hour wind within 20 miles of your house. That's pretty significant.
And as I pull this up, I'm showing that all of this tan area on radar is a wind advisory that we're under.
Yes, and that's before the storms get here. That's right. In addition to what's coming. We're going to have. I've seen several. I mean, just about every computer model has 50, 55 mile per hour gust before the line of storms get here. I mean, that's enough to bring down trees right there.
And as you walk outside tonight, it is windy now, but this is nothing compared to what's coming, is it?
No, this is about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. We're going to be sustained, I think, in the morning, probably 25 to 30, and then gust in the upper 40s to even in the mid 50s by tomorrow afternoon.
That's strong. Now, overall, and before we start showing maps and all, let's talk about, as we just brought up the wind, the likelihood that we're going to have power throughout all this is slim, isn't it?
Very slim, yeah. And I think you could lose it before that main line gets here. And so you definitely need a way to receive warnings because the chances of you having your TV may not be that great by the time this line moves through or whatever.
Now, as we turn to talk about, and we're going to pull up what it says about tornadic activity here in a minute on there and show the zones on it. But what you and I discussed before we went live is let's talk about how tornadoes are going to strike. And this is going to be a little bit different. Although it was bad last week, this is going to be a little bit different setup with tornadoes, how they work.
Yeah, this is what happened last week. You had these supercells develop, ahead of the main line. They're discrete. They're easy to track. They usually, last for, 2 or 3 counties or so. So you can track them pretty easily. That's not going to be the case tomorrow.
This is, they will strike quick. When they develop, it'll be just about, they're on the ground at that point. Am I close to that?
Yes, because they're going to be embedded in these severe thunderstorms. And so, you may not know the difference between the severe thunderstorm and the tornado. And so what we were discussing earlier, and you asked me, and I said, tomorrow, if you're on a severe thunderstorm warning and they say, hey, you're looking at 70 to 80 mile per hour winds in these thunderstorms, you treat it as a tornado because that is an EF1 tornado.
Well, that's serious. And that's a whole new way of looking at it, of thinking about it.
Yeah. And they're saying you have a 45% chance of seeing that within 20 miles of your house tomorrow.
And what was that percentage again now?
45% chance of seeing 70 mile per hour winds or greater within 20 miles of your house.
Okay, that right there alone is a statement that is worth writing down and remembering in between now and tomorrow. And I always bring this up, but especially tonight as we talk about this, of trees that are over your house. You do not want to stay in a room or any place that has a tree overhanging it with wind like this coming.
No, and the ground is kind of wet also, and so also we're expecting 1 to 3 inches of rain also, and so that's not going to help the situation any.
No, it's not. Let's talk about this. Let me pull this up. This is what the National Weather Service is telling us right now of the timeline. Now, I've got the picture up here from the National Weather Service of over in Louisiana from noon to 3. Now, what happens after this gets to Mississippi? What do you see?
Well, they're expecting the line to strengthen as it moves across Mississippi because of the afternoon heating. And once again, it's not totally out of the question that a supercell could develop ahead of this line. They have not completely ruled that out. And so if that happens, that'll make the situation worse. Right now, from what I'm reading, they don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
But the line's going to be broken. It's going to be kind of a broken line. It's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be broken, and these broken thunderstorms, are historically do produce tornadoes. And these tornadoes inside these thunderstorms, they could be EF2 or stronger.
And that's really big. And as we saw, I think in Kemper County, as those touched down last week, we saw 2 homes and a mobile home destroyed. Numerous other things that had damage, but those 3 totally gone.
Yes, and that was from a supercell that developed southwest of Newton.
And if I remember right, 145-mile-an-hour winds, were that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's an EF2.
Strong stuff is what we're getting to. All right, as we look at this timeline, Jackson to about the Scott County line, right there where it joins Newton, they've got it 2 to 7. Do you see it on your figuring a little bit different, or are you still looking at that being holding true?
Yeah, I think looks like the severe thunderstorms will be heading to the western part of east central Mississippi, probably Scott County around 3 p.m. And then sweeping eastward. And probably through Meridian, sometime around 5 or 6 is at the latest.
And again, with these storms, they're going to be moving fairly quick, and this is going to stretch the entire state. Every model that I've seen this stretching from Biloxi all the way straight through Meridian toward Tupelo.
I think this is the second largest moderate risk of severe weather they've ever issued for National Weather Service. It stretches all the way from southern Tennessee to the Gulf Coast.
That is big, and that should tell us something right there that we need to pay attention to this.
Yeah. So this is the wind is going to be the main problem tomorrow, the damaging wind, and so that's my main concern for us tomorrow.
Now, and let me go over this, and again, I always stress this. I don't want anybody to think that I'm running down a mobile home, but if you live in a mobile home, you do not need to stay there tomorrow.
No, you do not. I mean, you don't need to be there in 50, 55-mile-an-hour winds.
No.
And that's pretty much a given. That's not that might happen. Now, the 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds might happen, but the 50 to 55-mile-an-hour gust tomorrow is going to happen.
That's without a doubt, and that can cause damage.
Oh, yes, there's no doubt about it. And, yeah, if you're in a high-profile vehicle or anything or just any regular vehicle, that's,
I had spoke to Kemper Academy earlier today, and they were supposed to be off in a archery tournament, and they were going to be traveling in SUVs, and they decided against that it just in vans, that it really wasn't worth taking a risk with the kids traveling, and so they canceled.
No. Yeah, that's a good thing. I know there's going to be a district tennis tournament over at Northeast Lauderdale tomorrow, and they've canceled that. I don't know how you're going to hit a tennis ball when the wind's blowing about 50 or 55 miles per hour.
Right. Now,
and so they rescheduled that.
That's good news. All right, let me pull this up while we're talking and show everybody. This is the map of the severe weather, and we're looking at this as we look at this red zone. As we all look at this, here's green, Tyler, Texas. This cuts over to Macon, Georgia. Then we've got the next line from Shreveport. It makes a circle over to Atlanta. Then you go from Lake Charles, taking in Little Rock, all the way up to Clarksville, Tennessee, and Nashville, down to Montgomery. And that's a 3. And then right here in the center is where we are in the great state of Mississippi, and it's all red.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of the bullseye. I think our area is really under the gun tomorrow.
It is. Everything that I have read what the National Weather Service believes is going to happen, we need to seriously take this storm at utmost. And Lord help us, if you and I both are wrong, I'll admit, I'd rather be wrong.
I love to be wrong with severe weather.
Yes.
That's a compliment. It's great. I don't want it to happen.
Yes.
Hate to throw this out here, but I was looking at a computer model for next Tuesday, and GFS really wants to bring in another significant severe weather event to the state next Tuesday.
So we could go 3 weeks in a row with severe storms.
Yes, it's a possibility. Now, the European model is not as bullish, but the GFS, supercells in the warm sector, it doesn't look good. The GFS is right for next Tuesday, but we got to get through this first.
Yeah, but something to put in the back of your hat and think about that.
Yes, sir.
All right. On thinking on this, what else do we need to add that as you've been looking at, what have we overlooked and not said that you feel like we should share?
That's just pretty much it. Just like I said, it's going to be very difficult to throw out tornado warnings tomorrow because they're going to be brief, and they won't be on the ground long, but they're going to be strong if they're when they get on the ground, and they're going to be embedded in those thunderstorms. So if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, and they're talking about these thunderstorms are packing up to 80-mile-per-hour winds, you treat it as a tornado warning.
Yeah. 100%, I agree with that. Well, Norman, I appreciate you joining me, and I'll check back with you tomorrow as this all develops.
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks so much, Scotty.
Thank you, man. Again, that's Stormin' Norman joining us this afternoon as we talk about the severe weather that is coming. Now, there's several things that we need to discuss. As Norman just pointed out, let's go back over this one more time. I'm going to take these headphones out if y'all don't mind. I just I've gotten to where I don't like wearing them as much as I used to. What we've got is severe weather coming tomorrow. As Norman just stated, if you hear a severe thunderstorm warning tomorrow, it's going to be different than what we normally get. This is going to be packing about 80-mile-an-hour winds with it. That is tornado level. So we're going to get damage with this. So a simple severe thunderstorm warning that we normally get is going to be at a higher level than it normally is. Inside this, and this is what Norman was talking about, and I've read into this over and over today, we will have tornadoes that I guess you could call it like a rain wrap. With this, by the time that the warning can be issued with this, they will be on the ground, tearing up, and maybe back up by the time warning. They're going to be quick, hit the ground, go back up, hit the ground, tornadoes like this. So this is one of these weather days that warnings do matter, but you hear that, take it as it's on the ground tomorrow. Maybe we're being a little bit over the top. Let's hope so. But I would rather you be safe than sorry from what I've read on this. This is one of the utmost serious levels that we've had when it comes to quick tornadoes. The one that we had last week were what they quoted as being long tornadoes, to where the storm was coming and this was ahead of it. Now, this one, you will have the rain with the thunderstorm moving through with that 80-mile-an-hour winds from the thunderstorm, and then a tornado can drop from that quick and then back up. Back in, back out. And that's what we're going to be dealing with. And when I say about the warnings of it'll be quick and out. So treat it very seriously tomorrow. Mobile homes, do not stay. I mean, even as Norman just said, with the wind tomorrow, do not stay in that. They're up off the ground. The wind can get underneath them and flip them. High profile vehicles, watch what you do tomorrow. If you're in areas without trees, it can tip them over. You've seen this with 18-wheelers. We want you safe. Now, we do have some closings already that we're going to bring up and go over. And if you've got a closing, feel free to inbox us, post it on the page, and we'll add it to our official list. And we'll go over that in just a moment. Now, let's look at some more stuff that the National Weather Service is telling us. As I brought this up, here's the timeline. If you're just tuning in on this, here's the timeline for Mississippi. Louisiana, noon to 3 as we get to Vicksburg to Jackson, 1 to 5. From Jackson, Mississippi to the edge of Scott County is going to be about 2 to 7 p.m. And then the Meridian area, taking in downtown Philadelphia, 5 to 9 p.m. is what we're looking at. Now, this will cross on over toward Alabama as well. Here's what we're looking at winds. Sustained winds, 25 to 35, greater gusts to 55. You're going to see down trees. This is going to knock out power lines. The timing on this can begin as early as 10 a.m. and last until 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Now, we will be in close contact with the MEPA and all of the area power outlets to keep you up to date with where that is. So I say that all to say make sure that you have a generator. If you've got that, get that running in the morning or tonight. Make sure that it's gassed up and you'll have that. It could be widespread power outages. We'll watch it carefully. Let's look at Alabama. This is what's being forecasted for our friends across there. The Tuscaloosa area, Demopolis, Selma, also in this category 4. As we look 5 to 10 p.m. over to Demopolis, Alabama. Hamilton, y'all are in this. This will move over toward the Birmingham area, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., and then Auburn, where the trees grow, 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. is what they're looking at, the further east that you go in Alabama. Now, let's go down south and look at Mobile, of what Mobile is forecasting on that. We have a lot of people that watch from the Mobile area. 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. from Waynesboro, Leakesville, in these areas there. As you move on to Mobile, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., and then Crestview in those areas there in Florida from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. I want to also look at New Orleans. We've got this. We've got a lot of folks that travel back and forth to work in the New Orleans area. And this is what we're showing here. Right down to Hammond is where this will go, those colors there. As we looked at just a little bit ago, right in the Baton Rouge area, Macomb, and all of this area, a level 4. This is going to be New Orleans at a level 3. There's going to be a lot of rain coming with this, 1 to 3 inches of rain as well with this. All right, now let's go back and let's talk about who I have on closings at this point. If you haven't, again, gotten yours into us and letting us know about your closing, please drop us a note so we can learn more about your closing and be on top of this. All right, let's go to here. You can visit our page at sammedia.network. And as we pull this up, here we go. We're loading the page. This is closings and early dismissals for tomorrow. Newton County Schools will dismiss at 2 p.m. Lauderdale County Schools are having a virtual day. Immediate Care Family Clinic is closing at 3. The Rankin County Schools are closed tomorrow. Russell Christian Academy will dismiss at 3 p.m. That includes the RCA Preschool and Pottersville Daycare. They will dismiss at 3 p.m. And Kemper County Schools will have a virtual day. Now, at the present time, that's all we have. You can send it, inbox me on Facebook, or you can email it to me at Scotty Ray 1969 at AOL, and we'll be glad to add your school or your business to what's going to be closing early tomorrow. A very serious weather event, and we want everyone to take this very serious as we do this. In the morning, we'll have the emergency management team joining us to talk about what to do, what to prepare for tomorrow. What do you need to do? I've mentioned before, helmets. Let's find some thick-soled shoes. If your home is hit by a tornado, the last thing you want to be doing is wearing a flip-flop or one of those little shoes that have the soles about yay thick. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You want something that a nail couldn't puncture, something that is hard in case it were to be hit. We can't be too precautionate enough. Have some batteries around. Make sure that you've got that. Run a little water in your bathtub. You never know when you might need water in these kind of situations. It will be a day that I hope that we totally miss this and that a rainstorm comes, but it just doesn't appear to be that. I think this is a very serious storm. We are at a 4 out of 5. We'll be here to walk you through all of this and tell you street by street, as we always do, of covering the weather and letting you know where it is and where it will be. We'll have more on this beginning tomorrow morning, bright and early. It's 6:30, and then we'll have another update as we'll go live with the morning show at 8 o'clock. Now, when and if warnings do go out, we will also go live on Twin States News. We'll be on television as well, also broadcasting here on all the social media platforms to let you know. And again, this is all to ensure your safety on all of that. As always, we want to know what's going on where you are. The posts that you make there, that's how we know what happens. Big thank you to Alicia McCoy watching there. Ann McKee, how are you today? EMCC closing at 2, she said. Also, Suzanne Trammell, thank you for watching. I do appreciate that. Helen Daniel said she had no idea the weather was going to be bad. And it's so easy. This is another point that I wanted to make. If you've got neighbors, make absolutely sure to check on, especially the elderly. A lot of times you can miss things. You can be caught up in what's going on and have no clue, as Helen just mentioned, that weather is coming. So check on the folks that are close to you. All it takes is just a little kind gesture to make sure that somebody's doing okay. Together, we'll get through all of this and be safe, as always. Let's see here. Alicia said she messaged. We'll keep watching. Thank you. All right, we'll be on top of this. Typical Mississippi weather day, Rhonda says, and I agree with you on that. Let's see here. I was seeing if we had any more comments. Mobile homes, that we're saying stay out of that. I think we've got most of these. And again, we would you can inbox if you've got anything to add to this. We'll be back one last look at this before we close out. I want to make absolutely sure everybody understands the severity of this. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, and then here we are at a 4. There's only one level higher and that would be a 5, and we're at a 4. We're expecting 80-mile-an-hour winds with the thunderstorms. That is ranked at a tornado level. Tornado warnings could come out of this. They have not ruled them out. They will be quick and dangerous. So that's where we are on the weather here. And again, we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning to keep you updated. Can't say thank you enough. A big thank you to all the sponsors. As you see their logos pass across the screen, support those folks. They're here for you and the community. We do appreciate that. Again, I'll be back, and we'll see you bright and early, and we'll keep posting throughout the night if any changes happen on this. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow, and thank you for dropping by and visiting with us here.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by our following partners: